Right, we've got something really different for you this month because I'm in New York City and I'm here to catch carp from Central Park. It's a really busy time to be here because it's New York Marathon weekend at the moment and there's people everywhere. You can see all around me now at the moment there's people of all nationalities here. It's rammed basically, but I'm sure we'll find somewhere to wet a line. Check that out, there's somebody even getting married in Central Park. Mega. Proper community in nations. I've fished in the park a couple of times now over the years. First time was in 2001 when I came here with Rob Hughes, and the last time I was here was 2016 when I came here to run the marathon with my girlfriend. And it was just a chance session because I walked around the park, saw some carp showing and didn't have any gear with me, but managed to persuade Lucy to let me go and get myself a fishing rod. So I googled a tackle shop in the middle of New York City, a place called Capital Fishing, and bought myself a rod. Got some sweet corn, most expensive sweet corn I've ever bought, which was $8, something like that, and didn't have any other gear other than some hooks, and I tied on a stick as a float with a bit of grass, put the sweet corn on, cast out, hooked into a nice little fish and landed it in a plastic bag. But I got the photograph that I wanted, which was a nice little carp with my marathon medal around my neck. But on this occasion I've come here a lot better prepared. I've got myself one rod, I've got some proper tackle and some proper carp gear, so we'll see how we get on. This is the spot that I caught from last time in 2016, so I'm basically just going to give it an hour or so here, see if we can catch anything. It's an area where you tend to get a lot of fish fed by all the public that are here because there's a massive turnaround of people feeding the ducks and taking selfies of themselves. And all I've done is just put a little bit of a scattering of sweet corn out there and fishing about 4 or 5 grains on the hook at the moment. I've also just seen a fish vortex up off the bottom down here as well, so not got a buzzer on or anything like that. Just got the single rod, tight lining down to it, it's about 1.5 foot down there, and I know there's fish in the area, so all we can do now is sit and wait. What I'm going to do now is just spend a few minutes having a look, see if I can see any fish down in this bay, just in front of me here, because they're normally not that hard to find on here. All you've got to do is walk around and find a few bubbles, and I mean the weather's not really sort of perfect for it today, but normally when it's nice and warm you can see quite a few of them cruising around. We've currently got fish blowing the bottom up like mad. Must be half a dozen or so of them down there, and I've got a nice little scattering of corn in the bay. Nice and quiet in here, there's not so many people about, and there's definitely a few decent looking fish down here, so hopefully something might happen. God, there's a tail there. You can just see all that massive fizz that's just popped up off the bottom. Don't know if you can see it, just out of shot. Oh, it's got a squirrel in the swim as well down here. Just shot past me. Central Park for you. But just down there, I'll just zoom in and show you. That area there, there's a fish absolutely blowing the bottom up like mad. Every now and again you just see his tail coming out of the water, so that one is definitely catchable. Got Got a few people behind the swim having a look at what I'm doing. And I've got a rod now on a buzzer because I'm bored of looking at a float. And it's just into this bay here where I've seen some carp. I have also seen 1 or 2 turtles down here as well, so it's just a case of hoping we get the carp and not the turtles, because I do know that they pick up baits. She's there by my side again. Sat here hoping that I'm going to catch a carp and she can get off out of the Central Park and get on doing with something else. You right, darling? Enjoying yourself? Well, I've got my first one, and it looks like a nice common, and it is. How about that? Brilliant, what a great start. And there's my first one. Fantastic, proper urban carp, caught from Central Park, just into double figures. What a setting to catch a carp. Proper urban carping. It's a couple of days on from when I did that last bit of filming, and as you can see, the conditions are completely different. We've got some really overcast weather at the moment, and you've just seen a fish roll in the swim, which is perfect, because what I was going to say is I'm down the opposite end of the lake now. It's a lot quieter today because this is a Monday. It was a Saturday when I did the filming the other day, and there's a lot more areas that are accessible because there's not so many people about, so you can get into little areas and find 1 or 2 fish. And as you've just seen in front of the cafe now, there's quite a few fish that are on show. Now apparently during the summer months this is the area where you do see the fish patrolling the margins where the cafe is, but I've not seen anything patrolling the area. But what I have done is seen quite a lot of fizzing off the bottom, and obviously we've just seen that fish that's just rolled out in front there, so you know, I'm definitely on them at the moment. So all I've done is just scattered a little bit of sweet corn out in front and dropped a bait over the top of it, and it's now a case of just sitting back and waiting. Now I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to get down to the lake again today because I've had so much going on. On Saturday, obviously I was down here just for a couple of 3 hours, and then on Sunday I ran the marathon all day, which was a really, really long day. And today I've managed to persuade Lucy to go on a tour of Central Park, because they do these free tours around the area, which are absolutely great. So if you're going to come to Central Park, I can definitely recommend them. They've got a website. We've had a tour of Brooklyn this morning. We've had a tour of downtown Manhattan, and Lucy's gone on the one of Central Park today, and obviously I've persuaded her that I don't have to go on it. So I've managed to come down down to the lake and just grab a couple of hours fishing and do a little bit of extra footage that hopefully can give you some sort of ideas or some sort of pointers on what to do when you come down here, because it's absolutely fantastic. It's a great touristy place. Obviously we all know what New York City's like, so you know, pack yourself a rod, get yourself down here with a bit of sweet corn or some boilies and stuff like that, and you'll definitely catch fish if you're in the right conditions. Here's a look at the bits and pieces that I've brought with me then. Nothing too technical, just a little tub that's got all the essentials in, things like hooks, swivels, needles, etc. Tin of sweet corn, a tin opener obviously, a little catapult. I've got a few mixes in there just in case it was nice and warm. Last time I did see a few fish on the surface when I was here, and I've even brought a tub of pop-ups as well, just in case. Unlike Saturday, I've had the chance today to have a really good walk around the lake as well. I've seen loads of different areas, loads of fish on show. You know, there weren't so many fish on show on Saturday, and I think that was probably because of the amount of people that were walking the banks. Midweek is definitely a lot quieter. There's not so many tourists about, there's not so many boats on the water either, and you know, it obviously makes the fish come out and show themselves a lot more. I've seen quite a lot in the margins and basically all around the lake. The reason I've come down to the cafe area is because it's nicely tucked away, it's really quiet, and this is the area where I've seen most of the fish showing. So all I'm going to do now is just sit back and hopefully something's going to happen. Well, I've got my rod out and I'm mega confident, and I'm keeping my eye on it even though I've got a buzzer on it, because these fish absolutely fly off when they take. There we go, like that. There we go, flying take. Just going to switch cameras. What a backdrop to be playing a fish. Oops. He wasn't ready for the net that time. But he is now. Well, there we go, there's another Central Park carp. Absolutely fantastic fun. Just a couple of hours of fishing. It's now time for me to pack away and go and find Lucy.